Desde aquí, Los Ángeles. Noticias, información y entretenimiento.
Hi, welcome to Desde aquí Los Ángeles on behalf of desdeaquitv.com. My name is Shadi Valenzuela, and today we have a very special guest with us. He's being sponsored by LA's Promise to study film at the University of Vermont. Give it up for Eber Benites.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Eber, tell us, how did your passion for film really begin?
It began very young. I've grown up with film my entire life, buying cassettes, then to DVDs, and now we're in the digital age with Blu-ray. Just being able to see all these stories that just display emotion and tragedy and beauty and all these sort of things, watching them in front of me and wanting to be that was really the inspiration for it all. Really, I can't imagine my life without it, to be completely honest with you.
Cool.
So,
how old were you when you realized you wanted to study film?
This whole thing, I guess, sort of started in middle school. I would rewatch TV shows, I'd rewatch movies like The Lion King or Toy Story, simply because those stories were so amazing to me. And I mean, as a kid, when you see this in front of your face, you just sort of I kind of wish I was there,
Yeah.
So that was really the inspiration for it all. And it really, I guess what started the drive for it was definitely realizing that that I want to be this. I want to be on TV one day. I want to be in charge of stuff like that. And
cool.
That's where it all started. Yeah.
And what kind of movies did you like to watch when you were younger, and what kind do you like to watch now?
Let's see. Growing up, definitely things like Toy Story and The Lion King, things for kids.
Yeah.
Those were a lot of fun. But now, it's very different. I like to watch very sad things with tragic endings, or someone dying in the family and things like that, because I feel that those give lessons to the viewer, and I think lessons are probably the most important thing you can get from a movie. And being able to relate as well, because life is hard, life is pretty tragic, and when you can see an actor or an actress displaying tragedy on the screen, I mean, being able to relate, that's just simply amazing. That's what I love to see now.
Awesome.
Compared to what I used to see back in the day growing up.
What about in high school? Tell us a little bit about the club you were in, the Rewind Club.
Yeah, let's see. So my first 2 years in high school, I did football. And then, it was fun, but I realized that I wasn't going to make it to the NFL anytime soon. So I quit that. But film was always there for me. So I joined this club that was sponsored by LA's Promise, called the Rewind Club. And basically, it was just a bunch of people who shared the same passion of film, basically just getting together, writing scripts, gathering knowledge from each other about films that are out now, films that inspired them, and trying to sort of recreate some of that or create something new. That was probably the best part, is that the fact that we were able to collaborate and make things. That was basically what the whole program was about.
And is it like a scholarship that they're giving you?
It wasn't necessarily a scholarship, but they did help me a lot with regards to work. I was able to do an internship for a company called River Road Entertainment. They're responsible for films such as Food Inc. or Brokeback Mountain, Into the Wild. It's things like that they helped me do, and they allowed me to meet people who, I mean, really I couldn't have met anywhere else. I met actors like Tom Cruise and Djimon Hounsou. I met writers, directors, all these people who simply were inspired by the people that inspired me, and that's probably the best thing about it, is that people who are older than me and who are already making it were inspired by the same people that I'm inspired by. So really, that's what Rewind had done for me, and it was the best thing ever.
Cool.
It was amazing.
What did you feel like coming close or being close to artists like Tom Cruise?
Well, I'd only met him one night when I was presenting a documentary in Century City about the school. That was one of our biggest projects. We were asked to do a documentary about the school and what LA's Promise has done so far. That was very successful, by the way. And Tom Cruise was there. I said a joke to him. He laughed. That was a plus. And then I met a bunch of other people there, a bunch of writers and stuff, and they were very helpful. I mean, that was probably one of the most successful nights of Rewind so far.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will be going to a small commercial pause. Thank you.
Desde Los Ángeles, California, el canal número 1 de la televisión hispana por internet, desde aquí tv.com. Nos oyen porque nos creen, nos ven porque forman parte de nosotros, desde aquí tv.com. Música, deportes, entrevistas, inmigración y otros temas de interés. Somos la noticia, somos el compromiso, somos la información real que nos identifica. Desde aquí tv.com. Bienvenidos.
Hi, and we're back here in Desde Aquí Los Angeles on behalf of DesdeAquiTV.com. We're here with Eber Benites discussing his passion for filmmaking. Eber, why did you decide to go to the University of Vermont instead of going to a college that's nearby, maybe around Hollywood?
That's a very interesting question. Just recently that I found out that Vermont was a state. That's a little joke, but when I went over there, I was invited to take a visit. I landed and I just fell in love with the place. It's just, being surrounded by nature. It's a lot different than being surrounded by buildings. That was definitely the main attraction, and the fact that it snows there is definitely another attraction, and simply meeting different people. Yeah. I've been living in downtown Los Angeles, well, mid-city Los Angeles, all my life. I needed to try something new. And school-wise, since I was about 4 years old, I've always been walking distance from my school. Since high school, up until high school, I mean, walking distance the entire time. I needed to get out of here, I needed to just experience something new, and that was definitely the main reason why I decided to go somewhere else.
Okay, it's reasonable.
Definitely, yeah.
And how did your parents take that?
They'll be a little bit more happy if I stayed, but I think they're still very, very content at the fact that I'm at college to begin with. I feel that most parents really want, their son or their daughter to simply pursue what they wish they could have pursued or what they want their children to pursue. And you could ask any parent, they want their kid to go to college. So they're very, very happy as far as I'm concerned. They wish I was closer, but I'm very happy being far away. That's really a plus for me. But they're happy. I'm sure they're happy.
And they're supportive.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, simply getting a college education is very important to them, and it's something that they've definitely been putting on me for a very long time. So I just want to make them happy.
Cool.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most valuable thing you've learned so far in film?
Let's see, the most valuable thing I'd say is the power that it has on, people like me or you. Growing up, I think if anyone were to see E.T., even if you're 4 or if you're 40, I think that movie still has something for everyone. It's a very powerful film about, sort of innocence and home and things like that. And to have that kind of power, I think that's the most attractive thing about film. Really, that's what I love about it. It's so inspiring, and if a film could get you inspired to do something in less than 2 hours, then that's something you would want to see. I think the power that it has is definitely the most important thing about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. What have you learned now that you're away from home, and what has been difficult for you?
Let's see. I learned how to do laundry. That was very nice. And simply being independent, learning to make it out there on your own. You really have to look for, you really have to, what's the word? Watch your back with regards to the people you're surrounded by, and you know, things like that. Your parents aren't there to protect you anymore, you know? I mean, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And me being 3,000 miles away, my parents aren't going to drive over there, you know, to do my laundry. No, I have to do it on my own.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom could call and remind me about it, but she's not going to do it for me, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
simply becoming independent and understanding that that's life. I mean, at one point you're really going to have to do things on your own, and I think that's the most important part about college.
And that's what you've learned so far,
Yeah.
right? What about
yeah.
something challenging? What's been challenging so far for you?
Let's see, the most challenging thing about college, and I mean, if you were to ask anyone, I think they'd give you the same answer, is simply managing your time.
Yeah.
You have to learn to manage your time. I mean, Modern Warfare 3 could wait, you know what I mean? And I mean, I have sort of this bad habit. I'm always watching movies. They have an amazing library there, and the library, you know, has a good amount of movies there, and I'm always checking one out. And I mean, that's my outlet. That's what I look forward to the most. When I'm on a break, then I'll just put on a movie, and that's it. I mean, really, that's what I do.
Cool. Okay, we already spoke about how you came in contact with artists like Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks and who else? Steven Spielberg.
Those two were at the gala, I think. I didn't necessarily get to meet them, but I've definitely met with people who, you know, collaborate with them. I was able to meet Kathleen Kennedy and Frank Marshall. Those were the people who we were giving awards to at this gala from LA's Promise, and they work with people like Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. And I mean, if you look them up on IMDb, you'll realize they have an amazing resume with, you know, Steven Spielberg and E.T. That's them right there. If you look up their name, they worked on E.T. I mean, these people are simply the most inspiring people, you know. Yeah.
Cool. And what would you say has been maybe, in your opinion, Steven Spielberg's best work?
Ooh, that's hard. I don't know. I couldn't answer that. There's always E.T. You know, there's always Schindler's List. Always Saving Private Ryan. I mean, he has a bunch of new stuff out, like War Horse, Tintin. I mean, this guy, Jaws, for God's sake. This guy's
amazing.
Amazing. I mean, he's what you call an artist. He's an artist. I mean, such an inspiring person.
And very quickly now, now that we're getting ready to say our goodbyes, now that the show's coming to an end, what would you like to say to other students who are trying to pursue a career in film, now that you somewhat have some experience?
You have to go out there. You have to experience this firsthand. As much as I'd like to sit down and read a book about directing, for example, it's going to be pointless unless I go out and direct. If I want to learn about acting, I can read a book all I want. I can read as many plays as I want, but if I don't perform them, then you got nothing. I mean, these are things that you have to go out there and do. And that's, I mean, anyone could tell you that. I mean, that's the most important thing, is going out there and taking care of business. Cool. And that's what I'm trying to do now, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. I wish you the best in your career.
Thank you.
And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you here again on Desde Aquí Los Angeles on behalf of your channel, desdeaquitv.com. Until next time, goodbye.
Desde aquí, Los Ángeles. Noticias, información y entretenimiento.